Still on full battery, Jesus. All right, so we've got a really cool subject for today. Welcome back to another episode of The Commute, where I commute to nowhere because this is a pilot season and I don't have a job. But when I do, this will make more sense. Today we are talking about the Ford 7.3 liter V8 known as Godzilla. All right, Godzilla. In case you didn't know, let's just let that sink in. The engine is called Godzilla, which I think is heinous. Because I am not willing to believe that the people over at Ford are oblivious enough to be unaware of the fact that the R32 GTR is also Godzilla. To name an engine Godzilla... Oh, look. A train is crossing the tracks over here. To name an engine Godzilla seems a bit weird to me. Because it's like... This isn't an R32. This isn't even a Nissan Skyline. Why are you using this name? It's just wrong. I guess this is just a metro track because there's, catenaries or whatever you want to call them above the tracks. But let's vaguely, briefly talk about the engine. So I think it's a bad name because I feel like the name of Godzilla should be reserved for GTRs and all that at the very least. But I think that the only Godzilla there ever was the R32. But that's a topic for another video because I'm sure some of you can just say like, oh, the R34 is Godzilla or the R35 is Godzilla, and then I'll have to find you and kill you. Let's go back to the actual engine. It's a 430 horsepower, 7.3 liter, naturally aspirated V8. I think it's typically found in like the F-250 or something, the pickup truck. But just imagine the engine swaps, all right? 430 horsepower. Someone at some point apparently managed to tune one, keeping it naturally aspirated and get it all the way up to 600 horsepower. 600 horsepower naturally aspirated, apparently pretty reliably. Now, there's apparently a Whipple supercharger kit out there, a 3-liter Whipple supercharger kit out there that allows you to make 700 horsepower, I assume, to the wheels. I can't remember what the PSI was, but it also made 750 pound-feet of torque over the stock 475, which is wild. So let that sink in. With this engine, you could get, and it's not as expensive as like the Coyote crate engines, because this is a crate engine. You could get this engine, a supercharger kit, make 700 wheel horsepower and 750 pound-feet of torque. And honestly, I think this would be a fun engine to put in a Mustang. I don't know if it would work, but a 7.3 liter engine in a Mustang sounds like so much fun. Supercharge that, 700 horsepower. That's going to be unique at a car show. That's going to be cool. So if I never got a GT350, if I never got a Voodoo engine, a Voodoo powered Mustang, I would be extremely interested in getting a GT and putting the 7.3 in it, because the Godzilla engine, goddamn, it's wild. Because these days, high displacement engines are a rare thing. You don't see them very often. They're just not a common occurrence. Which is a shame, but that's where things are going. Eventually, internal combustion engines are going to be a thing of the past, especially in Europe in like a couple of years. But that's a topic I'll discuss a little later. But 7.3 liter V8, you can put that in so many things and have so much fun. Like, you cannot deny how cool just the potential of that engine is. Like, imagine having, I'm saying imagine a lot. I just love the idea of having a Mustang, whether it's a new shell or like a 1969 Mustang, putting this big beastly engine in it, big cams, crazy low idle, tons of power, and just taking that to like a car show and just cruising around with it. And having so much fun. Like, the only downside is I think the red line is pretty low, but with the help of tuning, I'm sure that can be fixed, right? Like, That's got to be something you can work around. Sorry, that was a bad rev match. Sorry you had to see that. I don't know what gearbox you would put with that, though. I feel like a 6-speed would be good. 6-speed would be good. But maybe if Ford ends up making a good DCT, that could be good too. Because then you could have... Because it would be cool to give it like Shelby GT500 gear ratios, where you can go up to like 60... What is it, like 60 miles per hour in first gear? I think that would be pretty wild. I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, with what you know about the 7.3 liter V8, what would you guys put that engine in? I mean, because you don't have to put it in a Ford. I just like the idea of putting it in a Ford. But what would you guys put that in? A 7.3 liter Ford V8. Where would that go? Would it go in a muscle car? Or would it go in something smaller, like less like suspecting? Would you make a sleeper car using that engine, or would you keep it in the pickup truck and just tune that? I don't know. I'm not really a pickup truck guy, but I know that people tune pickup trucks and that you can make pickup trucks very fast. I wouldn't know where to start with that. The only fast pickup trucks I know of are the Raptors, which just goes to show that I'm pretty unexposed.